So Rob Parker, Fox Sports, came out with an interesting thing. He said that he thinks that Kyle Shanahan is the most overrated NFL head coach in NFL history. And I got asked, what did I think about it? Did I agree with it? No, I don't agree with it. He's in, he'll, now, because you got to compartmentalize. And I did some notes too, because when I get asked questions, I uh, got asked about regular on this. So I'm going to have to compartmentalize this. Um, Coaches that have won that are more overrated, but Bill Parcells, yes, I said it, because let's remember, the Jets, Dallas, New England. He did get a runner-up with New England Super Bowl, but he did not look at the same dude like he did with the Giants. He was not the same head coach. His 10 years post the Giants, he was almost, dare I say, like Jeff Fisher. He wasn't, he had Curtis Martin in New England, Drew Bledsoe, but he was not the same dude. And that whole thing with Terry Glenn and all that, and later with T.O., and then the funny farm with the Jets and all that, no. Overrated, that one rings, him, John Gruden, John Madden, Mike Dicker. Gruden was overrated. He took one ring from um, I'm thinking it'll come to me right now, but he got one ring that don't belong to him, and you know, when you think about stuff like that, you have to put that in the context. Tony Dungy, that's who it was. I had to think for a moment, so forgive me. Brain went silent for a moment, but that's what that was. Then he was overrated, made all them funky faces, didn't win jack. John Madden had all that great teams in the Raiders in the 70s, wasn't as dominant as he should have been. Mike Dicker had that 85 Bears team, wasn't as dominant as he should have been. But let me put Kyle Shanahan in the pile where he belongs in. He belongs in the pile with Jeff Fisher, who got one Super Bowl appearance, but was a coach for like 30 years. Except I'd say Shanahan's a better coach than Fisher, so that might not be fair. But here are the names. His name that Shanahan is similar to. Dan Reeves, because he had John Elway in Denver, 0-4 in Super Bowls. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Dan Reeves get to also coach one Michael Vick? So he had two great talent quarterbacks, one that's an all-time great and one that should have been, and didn't really do much with that. And then Marty Schottenheimer, who was always seen as, to me, Marty Schottenheimer is kind of like the Don Nelson of NFL head coaches. So he had a lot of success, but it didn't matter for much. Okay, Kansas City, San Diego, and then Washington. Remember, he dissed Washington's former owner, and how that turned out. Dan Snyder ended up getting fired there, and then Chuck Knox. If you're a Buffalo Bills fan, Seattle Seahawks fan, Rams, this guy could always coach you up, but he could never finish the job. He had a lot of hype with him, but he wasn't a finisher. He was like a middle relief pitcher to the relief pitcher. So that's where Kyle Shanahan fits in. He fits in with that Marty Schottenheimer, Dan Reeves, Chuck Knox, of guys who were successful in seasons but didn't finish. Now, Reeves lost in the Super Bowls, as did Fisher. But this thing with Kyle Shanahan is really, I'm not going to say the most, because Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy, all due respect, aren't what I call top-tier quarterbacks. So I won't hold that. If he had an all-time great, if he was like Dan Reeves, who had a John Elway and then a later a Michael Vick, then yeah, I can make that case. But the 49ers have underachieved when you think about they've been arguably, after Kansas City, probably in the 2 to 3 best teams the last 5-6 years. Those 4 NFC Championship appearances, two times to the Super Bowl in the last 5, and a blown game against the Rams. You gotta kind of wonder, because Sean McVay could be in this argument too with Shanahan, except he got one winning ring and he lost one. But he could be an argument too, because Matthew Stafford is borderline Hall of Famer. You're gonna see Stafford probably be a Hall of Famer, and you did have Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Odell Beckham Jr. So it's not like he didn't have some pieces, you know. And he did trade away a Super Bowl quarterback in Jared Goff to Detroit. And Goff is looking good right now. Actually, he's looking better than Matthew Stafford, but that's another story, another video. So you can make a debate, but now Shanahan is not, Kyle is not the most. But I'm going to say something. If he don't win, he falls in that Marty Schottenheimer, Dan Reeves, Chuck Knox, Don Eric Coryell, Jeff Fisher. So he'll be in that top five. He'll be in that argument. And then you can debate. So no. But I understand where Rob Parker was going, because in a modern concept, with the kind of talent they've had, both on defense, you look at the pieces they've had, and to not win one and to choke 2 Super Bowls with 10-point leads, that puts you, I'd say, right there with Dan Reeves. Because your quarterback isn't as talented, but you've had the talent to have beaten a guy like Patrick Mahomes. And let me tell you something. If you win those 2 Super Bowls, or even win one of those 2 Super Bowls, you looked at probably right after Andy Reid, or probably right in that argument, and you're already solidifying yourself as a special coach. But since you didn't, and you choked 2 Super Bowls of extreme measures, including the way that one ended last in overtime, it don't look good for you. So that's my thoughts and takes. But tell me what you think. Please like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another share if you like. Hit that membership. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Stay true. Stay woke. Stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.